Hey guys, Revenge here, and welcome to the channel. I'd like to start this discussion with The Secret World, or rather Funcom's announcement yesterday regarding the game's direction. For those who don't know what The Secret World is, it's a modern-day horror MMORPG where every myth, conspiracy, and urban legend is true. I grabbed that right from the website. But realistically, playing the game, you'll notice, again, it's modern day. Conspiracies, things like this are everywhere. They're real. Your character has this special power, anima, and a bunch of other things as you progress through the game. I won't provide any spoilers, but essentially combat entails using a weapon of some sort and then magic. So yesterday the direction was, and this was alluded to back in, I believe, February or Q1's financials from Funcom, where they discussed the massive success of Conan Exiles, and that there was going to be a new direction for the Secret World. Now, there's some trepidation on my end on what exactly they were planning on doing, and I'll frankly say I was not expecting this, right? So the game is going from an MMORPG to a shared action role-playing game, whatever that means, shared, right? So I believe it's they're still allowing multiplayer, but the game is completely it's a different game. It's on a different server. It requires different authentication. It requires a new client, and what they're doing essentially with the Secret World is they're putting it in maintenance mode. So anything from a story progression perspective will be put into Secret World Legends. So I've done quite a bit of research on, yesterday I opened my email and I got the Funcom email from the producer, ran through that, and I will say I'll link this article in the description of this video, but massively overpowered, and I'll say MJ Guthrie, I hope I pronounced that right, MJ, if you're listening, but they did a great interview with Funcom, and really spell out some of the things that are coming. So I'll walk through that a little bit. I'll keep this brief. For those that are watching the video, likely you're the Secret World fans. I would really, so this is more of a discussion piece, and hopefully this facilitates comments below. I'd like to have a discussion with the community, right? The Secret World is one of my favorite MMORPGs. It was well received, but it was a niche MMORPG, right? So a lot of the issues that folks had was the combat, the animations. Everybody really loved the story, the setting. So I think Funcom are taking some of those criticisms, and they pulled back from developing new content for the Secret World, knowing that the player base may be expanded if they do some other things, right? My concern is that they're going to minimize the MMORPG elements that make the game so great. So the difficulty settings, or the difficulty itself, even after the new player experience, or the one player experience, or whatever that was called, to be honest with you, even after that, the game is still a difficult game, and it does not hold your hand, right? So a lot of action RPGs, especially in current, probably in the past 5 years or so, 10 years, really hold your hand on what you should be doing. So I hope that's not an issue. Some of the other pieces are new graphics. So I do think, so in Massively Overpowered article, they talked to Roman Amiel, who is the game director, which is great that he met with those folks, and said that in essence they're using the same game engine. So don't think of. So my initial thought was Conan Exiles is on Unreal Engine 4. I was wondering if they're going to port it over to that. It seems as though they're not doing that. There's going to be animation updates, facial updates, combat updates, things like that, and that's really all I know at this point. So essentially, he really speaks to these are graphical improvements, not a jump to another engine. So some of the other pieces are the mechanics for combat, as I stated, are changing as well. So that was one of the biggest criticisms. So if we're all familiar with action RPGs, there's different flavors of combat, but they really follow the same formula. So I'm curious to see how the action RPG combat fits in with the MMO RPG elements that are transferring from the Secret World to Secret World Legends. So there has been some criticism on kind of this transfer. I will say again some hesitancy. I do have an open mind because I believe in Funcom and the developers. I think they do a great job with the games that they put out. And I think this is really they could have created a new game and just removed the Secret World. I think this is a kind of a understanding of the fan base that they have with the Secret World, and stating that folks there's still a huge amount of content with the Secret World in its current state. When they move over to Secret World Legends, again, this I might as well mention now that it's going to be free to play to anybody. They're going to have microtransactions. What those entail, I believe some of them are inventory slots, new characters, some customizations, and things like that. But when you move over to Secret World Legends, you can also move some of the content from the Secret World that you've got over the past 5 years of playing the game. However, characters do not transfer, likely due to the incompatibility of the code or the engines or the clients, right? So another big piece is everybody is starting fresh. So when you hop into the Secret World Legends, everybody, even veterans of the Secret World, will be starting fresh from the very beginning. So they're streamlining the beginning of the game as well in Legends. Not sure how they're doing that, but they are. The progression system is getting tweaks as well. So I saw some allusion to passives and actives tied to weapons, and I think of this similar to Guild Wars 2, where each weapon has its own set of skills. So I'm wondering if they're going that route, which is interesting because I called that out as a potential something that I wanted to see when they announced this with their financials a couple months ago. So that's really that's all I have for now on what I've read, what I've seen, and some of my opinions. Excited, obviously I'll play Secret World Legends, and I am excited to see this the game get kind of a facelift. I'm excited to see other players have an opportunity to enjoy the content and the story. However, again, trepidation on, I hope they don't water it down too much. So thanks for joining, guys. Please, again, really want opinions, discussions. I'd like to understand what folks in the Secret World community think about Funcom's announcement. Until next time, I appreciate it. And hit that like button, hit the dislike button, leave some comments on how we can make the channel better. Thanks. Take care.